when I was a kid, I was a big jazz fan. I loved I loved Miles Davis, and I loved Ornette Coleman, and I loved John Coltrane. And then one day, I was living in Muskegon, Michigan, which didn't have a great radio presence as far as R&B and blues and stuff like that. And I built a crystal set one day, and it happened to catch WLAC in Nashville, Tennessee, which was just wailing B.B. King, John Lee Hooker, Jimmy Reed, and that woke me up there, you know. So that was the beginning of where I come from, musically. When I was 17, some gentleman from the courthouse across the street from my grandfather's drugstore came over and said, possibly Billy's time for him to go to the service. I had been caught the night before by 3 or 4 different jurisdictions at the same time arguing over who's going to get the bust. And my grandfather worked in a drugstore. He was a pharmacist in a drugstore, and they had a lunch counter back in the day. And it was right across the street from the courthouse. And so the cops would come over and the judges for lunch and things like that. So they knew my grandfather, they knew me. They thought it was time, instead of putting the cuffs on me, they thought it was time that I went in the service. So 2 weeks later, I was in the Navy. It was great. I enjoyed it. When you've never lived out of Michigan, when you're 17 years old, and in October, the Navy sends you to Key West, Florida for a year, what's not to like? And then after that, they sent me to New York City. I'd never been there. And oh, this is fantastic. It's literally join the Navy and see the United States at least. So it was fun.